Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Bill Lucky, and I'm the president of Lindsey Wilson College, and we're here for a very special day to dedicate the Carolyn Keefe Hall. But before we do, I'd like to invite Haley Cook to come up and give our invocation, and then she wants to say a few words about living here in Keefe Hall. So, Haley?
Would you please bow your heads as we go to the Lord in prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you to give gratitude for one of the many blessings you have bestowed on this beautiful campus. The kind and gracious people who made this new dormitory possible for female students are greatly appreciated by all. Thank you for the faculty for their immense sacrifice to guide and better the students along the path of their education. Also, thank you for the students and their sincere appreciation of the blessing of Keefe Hall to our campus. I pray that you continue to help this college prosper in the upcoming years. Please provide safe travels to the ones departing here today. We give thanks and glory to you for all things. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. My name is Haley Cook, and I'm a freshman here at Lindsey Wilson College. I live here in Keefe Hall, and it has just been a blessing to have stayed here so far this semester. The facilities are just wonderful. The rooms are so nice and clean. And it's just been a great experience so far, and it's really helped me to adjust to college and just have a nice place to stay. So I'm very grateful to be able to stay in this new dorm. Thank you.
Great. Well, good morning and welcome to this special occasion. What a great crowd, a turnout we have here today, and I think that speaks volumes about Carolyn and how people felt. But we're here for the dedication of Keefe Hall in honor of Dr. Carolyn Keefe, who served on our faculty from 1997 to 2009. I hope to accomplish two things this morning. First of all, I want to acknowledge and recognize and express appreciation to Mike Newton, our physical plant director, and his incredibly talented group of craftsmen who virtually built this facility from scratch. Now, at the risk of omitting someone who made a major contribution on this facility, I want to take just a moment, if I can, to publicly recognize some of our physical plant staff who made this project go. So, I'm going to holler out a name. If you're here, kind of wave, but I'm going to go quickly. Jimmy Bottoms and Jackie Chapman, Brian Feast, Mark Jones, Gerald Lucas, Lewis Clark, Mike Monday, Dennis Wilson, Charlie Crawhorn, Danny Brockman, Mitchell Quinn, Randy Smith, Taft Neal, Jody Irvin, and Darren Taylor. As Mike said, it has to be the most talented area per capita in the entire world right here on this campus. So those of you, if you worked on this building in any way, shape, or form, would you please wave your hand, acknowledge in some way, shape, or form, and let's express our appreciation. They are miracle workers. If you had seen this project when it first arrived on campus, you would not believe what it looks like today. They just did such an incredible job. My second task this morning is to pause for a moment and to give thanks for the life of Carolyn Keefe. A beautiful, spirited lady with a passion for life, with a passion for nature, humanity, and a passion for her students. I have some wonderful memories of Carolyn that I want to share just a few. I have memories from her time when she served on the President's Cabinet, where she was elected by her peers as our faculty representative to the President's Cabinet. I remember playing crokinole in her home, where she invited Elise and I over to spend some time. In fact, before she passed away, she brought one of her favorite crokinole boards and left it to our family that we treasure to this day. From every New Year's Day, when she would show up on our front porch with a freshly baked amaretto cherry bread that she would bring over to our home and our daughters would devour. She was always so thoughtful and was comfortable, I think, interacting with all different types of people. I was so struck that at her memorial service to see the variety of friends that she had, from David Gauguin and Carrie Robertson and George and Vonnie Kobenschlag and Morris Grubbs and Anissa Radford and Linda Grider, to Chris Schmidt and Nancy Sinclair and Joel Peterson and Tim and Susie McAlpin and many, many, many others. There were people who were there who had known her for 15 years and others who had known her for 15 months. And she was loved by faculty, colleagues, as well as coaches. It's great to see so many coaches out here today because you all know what a strong supporter of athletics Carolyn was. She was surrounded by people who had earned doctorates, but also she was loved by people who didn't have a college degree. I think it speaks volumes about her as a person that she had this kind of variety of friends that she'd met through her time here at Lindsey. You know, Carolyn had sort of a funny sense of humor. I remember the day that she walked into my office and she said she wanted to give me a kiss. And I thought, you know, I don't think Elise would mind. I think that would be great. And then she pulled out this giant Hershey's chocolate kiss that I still keep on my desk to this very day. That had to happen 10 or 12 years ago. And I still have this memory of Carolyn walking into my office offering me a kiss. But after Carolyn retired in 2009, we had the chance to visit together in her home in Asheville, North Carolina, and I had a chance to take Carolyn to dinner and spend some good quality time with her. Our time together that day, it was special to me. I think about it often, and I left there knowing how much Carolyn loved this college and loved this Lindsey Wilson College family. While Carolyn was alive, and also through her estate, she gave more than $523,000 to Lindsey Wilson College. Now, I know what we pay our faculty, and it's not a lot, but I can tell you, I'm grateful that she thought of us in that kind of capacity. But more importantly, I think she gave everything that she had, not just financially, but day after day, year after year, she gave everything that she had to her students and everything that she had to this college. We honor her memory today with the dedication of Keefe Hall, and I think it's so beautifully positioned from two of her great passions. The humanities building that you see right behind us, where she spent day after day. Her office was there in that building where she would, so having that building there, and at the same time juxtaposed to the soccer field, which she had a great passion for soccer. She would oftentimes, if the game got too close, she'd have to leave. She cared that much about whether we would win or lose. So as we honor Carolyn through this dedication, may we also symbolically honor every faculty member who has toiled, who has labored, who has dedicated their lives to this next generation of students here at our beloved Lindsey Wilson College. Thank you so much.
I have many things I could say about Carolyn, but I'm going to use her own words. This comes from a video put together by a student, and it's Carolyn Keefe talking about home. I don't think I have a single definition of home. Maybe the closest thing I can come to a definition is to say that it's more like a state of being than it is a physical place. A physical place can be a home, but not necessarily. And I think a person can feel at home anywhere, including all by oneself in the middle of nowhere. A home is a good state of being, a good state of mind.
They put me last, and two acts are going to be a little hard to follow, but I would just like to say that my wife Vonnie and I were blessed not only to have had Carolyn as a good friend, but as a neighbor, and as our cat's favorite cat keeper when we were on vacation. She stopped often to have conversations with us. She lived just across the street. They always were, I learned from them, always, and hopefully maybe she learned from us a little bit. She ate with us on a number of occasions, but not enough. She was good company, as you might imagine. She kept us, after I retired, she kept us well informed on what was going on the campus. She knew more than President Lucky, I think about that. It didn't take me long to realize what a good friend, valued colleague, and and great mentor Carolyn was. When I was teaching, my office was adjacent to hers, and she was a far better teacher than I ever was. And I used to go over there and knock on her door occasionally for advice, and she gave it willingly. She was an educator in a positive sense of the word. She was not easy on her students, but I think most of them came to appreciate that she cared for them with a great passion. I was academic advisor for a number of freshman English students when I was teaching. Their first course with Dr. Keefe, they would come to me and say, I don't think I want to take any more classes from that lady, if at all possible. I discouraged that. And I did and convince them they needed to enroll when they were sophomores and juniors and seniors. And it was amazing the number of those kids that came to me later and thanked me and said, she was tough, but I learned. Not only did I learn, but I enjoyed learning, because she was totally committed to turning those kids out well educated and knowing a little bit about grammar. I think they realized how unequivocally fair and caring she was. She was tough, but she was fair. She didn't show favorites. She put many young people on the path to effective, productive futures. Carolyn Keefe was a great lady, and I think she would be so pleased to have this fine building named in her memory. I also think she'd probably have a few suggestions on how it could be improved upon. To those of you who are occupying this building, I assure you Carolyn has her eye on you. And she doesn't have her eye on you just because she appreciates and cares for this building. She has her eye on you because she cares about who you are, and she wants you to excel. Please remember that and think of her often. I'm sure Carolyn's resting in peace, but I'm also sure she's working on some of her companion angel's grammar. Thank you very much.
Look up.
Okay, first for Instagram. Here, look. 1, 2, 3.
Good.
Now the real one.
Tell us on, are we counting down? 1, 2, 3, or what?
1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Awesome. And look up.
And look at me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Let's do a group shot. Everyone look at me. One more.